Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 37 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And today we wanted to give you our top 5 NBA teams right now after the All-Star break and also after all the trades. And so we wanted to give you our top 5 teams right now. As we always start, we start with a coin flip. Yep. And so, Jacob, call it in there.
Heads.
It's heads again.
Yes.
Who do you want?
You can go first.
All right. So I'll start off with my honorable mention. A team that isn't in my top 5, but I think everyone in the NBA is scared to play them. I have Brooklyn Nets as a team just outside of probably a top 5. Maybe not even top 5, but close to it. But during the playoffs, I think they're going to be scary. They have a healthy Kevin Durant back. Kyrie Irving's going to be, the vaccination rules are relaxed with them now. So he's going to be a force. They have a new team. Ben Simmons is going to come join their team soon. I think their team is going to be very dangerous. So they're on the outside looking in, but they're just not top 5 right now in my rankings.
Yeah, for my honorable mention, I put the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're just injured right now. They have key players missing, and they're not doing well right now. But come the playoffs, they'll be healthy, and I think that they're going to be a good team, and nobody really wants to play them.
All right. Who's number 5 then?
Number 5 is the Miami Heat. They're doing really well in the Eastern Conference.
No respect for the Heat.
They're a really balanced team. Jimmy Butler's been playing really well, and just as an overall team, they've been playing pretty well. They have a lot of bench players doing their part off the bench. So yeah, number 5.
Well, it's funny that you have the Heat number 5, but number 1 in the East by a good margin. I think they're 3 games up right now in the East, and you have them number 5 on your list. But
there are West teams.
Okay,
West is way better.
No, I don't think the West is way better this year.
They are way better.
But I'm gonna go with my top 5. I have a tie at number 5. I have the Milwaukee Bucks. Who are 30, what are they now? 39 and 25. They're third in the East. And I have the Golden State Warriors, 43 and 21. They're also third in the West. I would put the Warriors higher, but they're on a 4-game slide. They haven't looked good. They just lost to a terrible Lakers team. Draymond not being there has really hurt their defensive scheme and their ability to control the tempo. And so, like I said, Steph can't do it by himself. And the Bucks actually, I think, are. If you would ask me a week ago or prior to the All-Star game if the Bucks were top 5, I would have said no. But they're starting to play better. I think Giannis is going to pick it up. So right now, I have the Bucks and the Warriors as a number 5 team. All right, number 4, I have the Miami Heat. But at least they're not my 5th. They're first. They're 8 and 2.
It's literally a 1 standing difference.
Well, I think the number 3 and 4 are very close. Miami Heat, they're first in the East. Like I said, the reason why I don't love them is I think the lack of shooting is going to hurt them in the end. Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler are good players. They have Tyler Hero. He's been playing great as a 6-man. Probably win the 6-man of the year. Duncan Robinson can shoot. I think you have defensive liabilities when you have Duncan Robinson and you have Tyler Hero in the game. I mean, Jimmy Butler and Kyle Lowry and Bam can play defense, but we saw what happens when they can do a pick and roll and isolate people like Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson in the playoffs and play one-on-one. They get exposed. And so right now they're playing really well, but they're in my top 4. They're my 4th, sorry.
Number 4 for me is the Golden State Warriors. I think asked me a month ago, they probably would have been number 2. But since Draymond's been out, you're really seeing how bad they play on defense and how much he is as a leader on that team. He might not average a ton of points, but he does a lot for that team. And now that he's gone, you're seeing them slide a little bit without him.
Who?
The Golden State Warriors.
I am.
They're 43 and 21. It's pretty good, but they're sliding. They just lost to the Lakers. I have nothing else to say about them. They're doing pretty bad right now. Number 3 is the Memphis Grizzlies. They're doing pretty well right now. They're 44 and 21, and John Morant's playing out of his mind right now. He's scoring so many points. Every game he has 6 to 7 highlights of him dunking on somebody or just making a really athletic play. And I just think that they're playing super well as a team right now. They're a really young team, and I think that they're doing really well right now.
I have the Memphis Grizzlies also at number 3.
Oh.
Tell you the truth, two or 4 are about neck to neck. in my thing. But I have the Grizzlies are playing really well right now, and they're playing tough. They're second in the West at 44-21. They're way behind the Suns. But here's what I like about them: they have a bona fide star in John Morant. They have legitimate good big men in Jaren Jackson and Steven Adams, and then what they have is gritty defensive players and all the perimeters. They have versatile defensive players who can guard multiple positions in the rest of their lineup. And so they have built a team around Ja Morant, and they also have built this reputation of we're going to pound the glass, we're going to play defense, and we're going to make it tough. They play really tough defense, and they have a legitimate scoring threat in Ja Morant who can do almost anything. So that's why they're at number 3. But, they're a young team. I want to see how they do in the playoffs. But I love Ja Morant and his game. I really do. Number 2, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. They're in second right now in the East at 39-24. I think they were on a win streaker here, and they lost tonight or last night to the Miami Heat. I think the reason why they lost this game, James Harden didn't play. James Harden has been playing out of his mind as a 76er. And so I think they're a very dangerous team, and you have 2 bona fide true stars in Harden and Embiid, and then you throw in role players like Tobias Harris and those type of players. You got a very good team. They're gonna be a tough out in the playoffs, but they're playing really well, and they're just starting to gel. That's what's scary about them is it takes a little bit of time, I think, to play with someone like James Harden because he's a ball dominant player. But I think what you're going to see is they're just going to get better as the season goes on. I just don't think they're not quite number 1 yet.
Mm-hmm. Well, you must have been copying me because Philly's number 2 for me. I like Philly. They have a lot of good players that can play defense. They're probably one of the best defensive teams in the league right now. They have a lot of everything. The reason that I don't love them as much as some of these other teams, and I think they could fall, is because this team is a very injury-prone team. Everybody on this team can get injured at any time. And they're kind of
That's with everyone, though.
No, but this team especially. Harden and Embiid are out every other game, it seems.
Embiid's been pretty healthy the last couple of yeers.
Yeah. Embiid is on this team. He's dominating. He's probably the best center in the league right now. He is.
No.
And I just think that I think they're doing really well right now with the Harden-Embiid connection. And I think that they're going to, at the end of the season, be either 1 or 2 in the Eastern Conference.
All right. Who's number 1?
Number 1 is obviously
yeah.
the Phoenix Suns. They're 51-12. They have the best record in the whole league. They're the best overall team of just like everything basically. They pass well. They shoot well. They don't really have many flaws. They play a really good game. They don't do anything flashy, but they will score a lot of points. And even though Booker and CP3 are out, other guys are stepping up on this team. And yeah, they're obviously number 1.
I have the Phoenix Suns number 1 too. They're 8 games up in the West, which means that they're probably 10 games or 10.5 games up in the East to anyone who's around them. We can do a whole episode on why this team's constructed to win the championship. Yes. They have great guard play. CP3's hurt right now, but when he's in, he's probably one of the top point guards in terms of creating and control of the game. They got a legitimate young star in shooting in Devin Booker. He can get buckets. Probably got the best mid-range game since Kobe Bryant. And they got a bunch of players who play defense. They're long and they can shoot threes. And no matter what anyone else says, I love DeAndre Ayton and I love JaVale McGee. They bring a good combo, big men in there. And
Torrey Craig.
Yeah, well, he's not big. He's not big, but they also have, they're constructed well. Here's my only issue, and what makes me nervous is they have 2 big curses on their team. They had the Chris Paul curse, and they got the Kardashian curse, and so that's what worries me going into the playoffs. But in terms of the best team in the NBA right now, they're by far the best team in the NBA. And they're showing that they can win without their 2 superstars, which is a testament to how good and deep their team is. They can run 10 deep, and they can still, it seems like every other game now that different players stepping up. Cam Johnson's dropped 37?
38.
It's crazy.
And a game winner, too.
And so you're going to see different players pick up Mikal Bridges is I think one of the best 3-and-D players in the league, and so I really like the Suns and how they're constructed. I want them to see it. I want to see them put together and break those curses and win the championship. So though that's who I have. Jacob and I are very similar. I just want to say 2 through 4 I think are interchangeable.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of preference in terms of who we believe is in the 2 to 4. But it's not even close. The Phoenix Suns are number 1, and everyone else is fighting for a very low 2 and 3. And so that's my take on who's number 1. And that's your take?
Yeah, obviously Phoenix Suns are number 1.
All right. Well, let us know if you agree with our top 5. I think in a couple of years, I'm going to say the Pistons are going to be in the top 5. But we'll
Top
talk
5
about
in the lottery.
Oh, man. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 37 of Your Take, My Take by John and Jacob. I'm John.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you later.